Well, good morning. On this fine winter's morning, I've come down to a location known as Heswall moorings. Now, this is on the Wirral estuary, not far from Liverpool really, and about 45 minutes from where I live. I've not been down here for about 4 or 5 years, and I think I've missed a trick because this is something quite different to my usual forest and mountain scenery. So I'm going to have a go at shooting it, mainly handheld, because it's quite tricky to work with the muddy conditions and tripods, shooting a bit of Portra 400 and a bit of Rollei 400 black and white. Now, this isn't your traditional sort of landscape location. There's no big scene, there's no mountains, there's not even much sort of foreground interest, but it's the mud flats and it's the decaying, decrepit old boats that I like most. Some of them are split open, they almost look like they're beached whales, and it makes for a lot of interesting textures and muted colours. Flaky paint, old nails, and all sorts of little rivulets and runs through the mud. All this makes very interesting patterns and makes a change from my usual forest locations. This is much more open. It's a bit of a challenge, to be honest. Now, like most landscape photographers, I prefer to work from a tripod. It slows me down, it allows me to choose whatever aperture I like, and I can work with slow films. However, this location tends to suit a more mobile approach. It's very muddy, I don't like putting my bag down. So I've come with a 35mm film camera, the Nikon F100, and a 28-200 zoom. This allows me to be very agile, I can move around, I can take shots handheld, especially because I've got a 400 speed filmer as well. That gives me the extra leeway I need to cope with these slightly dull conditions. Now, I'm trying to be as spontaneous as possible today because most of my photography is quite rigid, it's quite formal, especially the large format and medium format. So coming out with 35mm gives me a lot more freedom. I'm enjoying just wandering around, even though it's a bit cold and muddy, just exploring, taking different images, shooting things at close-up, cropping in, and just generally taking it all in rather than being in a real rush to set the camera up and get that perfect shot. Now, all of the boats are interesting and make fabulous materials, sort of abstract, decay, weather, etc. For me, the real standout image here is going to be this mud. Now, I've shot the mud many times in the past. It's really dramatic in the summer because it cracks as the tide goes out. I'll show you an image here. Now, the nice thing about the mud around this area is it forms lots of different channels and gullies. Now they're always changing and moving, so every time you come it's different, and you can focus in and crop out the distracting sky and foreground and just have these amazing shapes and textures. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this short vlog here. Main reason being there's a huge cloud coming across and it is forecast heavy rain and I'm going to get absolutely soaked, pretty exposed here. It's only been an hour or two, but I think I've actually got something a bit different, and also I've got ideas for next time. I think when the weather's a bit better towards summer, I'll head back and I'm going to set up and use some of my bigger cameras when it's a bit drier and some of the mud cracks, a bit more dramatic, maybe black and white next time. Actually, I shot all colour this time, so yeah, really looking forward to that. Now I hope you enjoyed this short vlog. I'll see you again on the next trip.